she threw me out. Okay, I'll help you, the wolf told him. I'll sort it out. Let's go get her. Just when the wolf was ready to take the fox out, she saw him through the window and shouted to him, "Look who came to live with us! Great! This house is big enough for 3. Why did you have to drag this terrible rabbit with you? Kick him out of here!" The rabbit was walking down the road, crying, and the rabbit, "Why are you crying?" "Well, dear bear, you see, I had a house like sparkling. The fox's house was made of bark." "Oh no, it was the other way around. Well, it doesn't matter. In the end, the fox threw me out of my house." "Let's go, I'll show you." So they came to the rabbit's house, and it was full of all sorts of animals, just like a zoo. There was a mouse in the house, and a frog who could float. The house was full. It even had a bull and an elephant. All kinds of creatures. They barely all fit in there. And then the bear had an idea and started roaring. "What a wonderful house! I'm just big as yours too." He tried with all his might to get inside like a bulldozer that can't be stopped. Then it got very noisy. The very small ones were squealing. The very big ones were roaring, and the house was screaming. They all ran. And of course, they brought the house out just like that. They almost crushed each other to pieces in there. That's what I'm telling you. If you're friends with all sorts of weirdos, then build yourself a house that's very big and very strong. Oh, how I love to go visit Bear at his home. I'll take you with me one day. But for now, let me tell you a very scary fairy tale about guests. Once upon a time, there was a girl and her name was Red Riding Hood.
Red Riding Hood.
She used to wear the riding hood at some point, but now she just wore a red hat in the winter and even in the summer. One day, her mother asked her to go visit her sickly grandmother and take her some tasty goodies. So the girl took her basket with the meat pies and went on her way. She was walking along the path in the forest, and the meat pies were smelling so good that the girl said to herself, "I'll just sit nearby and I'll eat one pie." Just then, someone or something rolled by her, and then boom, and right into the tree. Guess who it was? It was Gingerbread Head. He sat there shaking his head. He was shaking all over because it was all Gingy had. The legs, no arms. Red Riding Hood picked him up, and Gingerbread Head said just like a human, "Please don't eat me, little girl, and I will sing you a song." "Why would anyone want to eat you? You've been rolling over dirty roads in the forest. I'd better take you to my grandmother. Maybe she'll have some use for you." Red Riding Hood dusted Gingerbread Head off and put him in the basket. Big Bad Wolf, who was hiding in the bushes nearby, heard everything. He decided to eat all of them: Hoodie, Granny, and even Dirty Change.
Hello जी, hello, hi, how are you?
Feeling sickly. She was very surprised.
ये फर्स्ट टाइम मेरा लाइव होगा जो विदाउट फेस है.
Grandmother, "It's your granddaughter, Red Riding Hood. I've come to visit you, grandmother," roared Big Bad Wolf. "Oh, my poor granddaughter is probably also sick. Her voice is usually so sweet, but now it's so hoarse." That's what grandmother thought, and then she said, "Just pull the cord by the door, dear girl, and then the door will open." That's what the wolf did. The door opened. And what happened next was terrible. Big Bad Wolf gobbled up grandmother all at once and spit out her glasses and bonnet. Big Bad Wolf licked his lips and got ready for Red Riding Hood. He pretended to be her sickly grandmother, got in her bed, covered himself with a blanket, put on her bonnet, stuck her glasses on his nose, and then heard the knock on the door. "Who's there?" asked Big Bad Wolf. "It's your granddaughter, Red Riding Hood.
आप लोग यूट्यूबर मनोज भैया को जानते हैं? Yes या no? मैं उनका नाम इसलिए नहीं बोल रही हूँ गाइस कि वो एक यूट्यूबर हैं और मैं उनकी फ़ैन हूँ। मैं उनका नाम इसलिए बोल रही हूँ कि वाक़ई में वो मेहनत का मिसाल बने हैं। गरीबी से एक झोपड़े से ऊंचाई तक पहुंचना इतना आसान नहीं होता है। जो मनोज देव हैं, जो बहुत ही बिग टेक वीडियो बनाने वाले जो यूट्यूबर हैं, उन्होंने मिसाल कायम किया है अपनी मेहनत से। उनके चैनल पे स्ट्राइक आ रहे हैं गाइस। मैं सिर्फ उनको सपोर्ट के लिए नहीं बोल रही हूँ, बस इतना बोल रही हूँ कि हमारे इंडिया में किसी के बीच यूनिटी नहीं है, एकता नहीं है। मैंने ये चीज़ गेस किया है। हर कोई एक दूसरे की कामयाबी से जलते हैं यहाँ, और ये खासकर इंडिया के लोग इंडिया में बहुत ज़्यादा हैं। सो गाइस, मैं आप लोगों से यही बोलना चाहती हूँ कि प्लीज़ आप लोग यूनिटी दिखाएं। मेरे पास मैंने कोई भी ऐसा आईडी नहीं भी है जिसे ट्विटर करते हैं। ट्विटर पे मैं अकाउंट बनाने जा रही हूँ, और मैं आप लोगों को भी बोल रही हूँ प्लीज़ रीट्वीट कीजिए। मनोज देव ही नहीं, ऐसे बहुत सारे यूट्यूबर हैं। कल के डेट में हम लोग भी प्रॉब्लम में आ सकते हैं, बट हमारा फिर भी ऐसा कोई चैनल नहीं है। बट मैं रिक्वेस्ट करना इसलिए चाहती हूँ क्योंकि इंडिया में सच में यूनिटी नहीं है किसी में। हर कोई एक दूसरे से जलते हैं यहाँ। ऐसा क्यों? हमारा भारत तो बहुत ज़्यादा एकता वाला मिसाल दिया जाता था, लेकिन हमारे भारत में ये यूनिटी का लेवल कम क्यों है? हमारा भारत तो इसी से पहचान था ना। फिर हमारे भारत में ऐसी कमी, इतनी जलनशीलता एक दूसरे के साथ इतना क्यों है? बस इतना बोलना चाहूँगी। अगर आप लोग यूट्यूब पे काम करते हो तो प्लीज़ मनोज देव को ही नहीं, हमारे भारत के यूट्यूबर्स को आप सपोर्ट करेंगे उनके ट्वीट को रीट्वीट करके। सो आई रिक्वेस्ट गाइस, प्लीज़ रीट्वीट कीजिए जो उन्होंने ट्वीट किया है, रीट्वीट कीजिए। और हमारे भारत की यूनिटी की पावर को दिखाने का समय है। दिखाइए। हमारे भारत में बहुत जेलसी लोग हैं। ये अदर कंट्री में बिल्कुल भी ऐसा नहीं होता है। एक दूसरे को सब सपोर्ट करते हैं गाइस, क्योंकि हमारे भारत में ऐसा नहीं है। खासकर जो यूट्यूब पे काम कर रहे हैं ना, पता नहीं क्यों एक दूसरे से बहुत जलते हैं। ना किसी को लाइक करते हैं, ना किसी को कमेंट करते हैं। मैंने ये चीज़ देखा है गाइस। टाइम है एक ऑनेस्ट हमारे भारत के मेंबर बनने का।
Fly away and fast. Go! Tomorrow the weather will be warmer with sunny skies. He said it all funny like he was on TV. Well, you know when they say the weather forecast. Anyway, the old witch got back into her mortar and went flying home to her hut. Then Father Frog came over to the girl and asked her in a very strange manner, "Are you feeling warm, my dear girl?" "I'm warm, thank you, Father Frost," she told him. Father Frost saw that the girl was polite and easygoing, so he decided to take her to live with him. He brought her to his ice palace and said, "She's my feather blanket, so feathers fly and there is snow on earth. If you clean the palace, the sun will appear in the sky. And if you finish all your chores, then I will award you. No, forward you. No, record you." I forgot what it was that he said. Phew, I got it. Reward you. And the girl was doing everything so well that Father Frost couldn't be happier with her work. And he decided to give her a reward. So he brought her to a clearing in the forest where the 12 months were gathered around a fire. They all gave her presents. The spring month gave her a huge basket of flowers. The summer month gave her berries and mushrooms. The autumn month gave her a sack of potatoes and some other stuff they'd gather in the fall. Oh, that's right, leaves. And Father Frost, together with the winter
मैंने
month,
एक चीज़ यहाँ देखा है इंडिया में, खासकर जो लोग ज्ञान की चीज़ें देते हैं, नॉलेज की चीज़ें देते हैं, लोग उसको सपोर्ट नहीं करते हैं।
the girls came
लेकिन
back home.
डांसिंग हो, सिंगिंग हो या कोई भी एंटरटेनिंग और कॉमेडी से रिलेटेड क्यों ना हो, उन्हें बहुत जल्दी हर कोई सपोर्ट करता है। ऐसा क्यों?
The stepdaughter was kind.
तो फिर तो
She set the sack of
इंडिया के
potatoes
लोग
down in the
को
corner
किस नज़र से
and then
देखना
split the
चाहिए?
beans.
आई थिंक मुझे लगता है इंडिया में लोग
Took courage.
एलिजिबल अपने आप को बहुत ज़्यादा समझते हैं या तो फिर
Her pretzel.
इस
She
चीज़
made
से
such
दूर भाग रहे
the
हैं।
crumbs. Leave me alone. Then Father Frost jumped out from behind the pine tree and asked her, "Are you feeling warm, my dear girl? You are silly and old. Don't you see that I'm cold? Get me my presents, quick." Father Frost sat on the snow, and then he asked her again, "Are you feeling warm, my dear girl?" The girl jumped to her feet angrily. "What are you trying to do? Freeze me! Get me what I earned!" Father Frost got up from the snow and waved his sack around, turning her into a snow girl. So she had to stand there till spring, or maybe even summer. And all the while, the kind girl was celebrating Christmas and giving presents to everyone. Great, huh? So remember this, my dear friends. Only those children who are kind and not lazy can get real presents that are nice and useful too. And if you decide to be really mean and lazy too, you will never get any presents. Some people think that decorating a Christmas tree for the holidays is a piece of cake. Not so, my dear friends. If decorating is not going the way it should, do you know what can happen? I'll tell you about it.
The Wolf and the Fox.
In a village far, far away, there was a man, a local fisherman, and his wife. And then in the forest nearby lived a very sly wolf who was always sneaking over and stealing fish from the fishermen. When it was Christmas time, the man decorated the Christmas tree, but he didn't feel like just sitting around waiting for Christmas to come. So he said to his wife, "I'm going fishing, dear." The fox overheard that the fisherman was going fishing. So this very sly fox ran out of the forest on the road and lay down and pretended to be absolutely not alive. When the man saw the fox, he said, "That's good, my wife can use the fur for her coat." The man threw the fox into the sleigh, and together they drove up the man's favorite spot. The fisherman sat on the ice by the opening and started fishing up there. He was sitting there for a long time and even started to doze off. He wasn't having any luck catching fish. But the impatient fox couldn't wait, and she sat up and started to watch from the sleigh on the sly. Suddenly, someone came up and screamed behind the fox's back, "What do you think you're doing?" This startled the fox, who almost died of fright and grabbed her chest. But it was only the wolf. "Have you gone mad, wolf? You can't go threatening people, foxes, like that. Why are you screaming? Don't you see we're fishing here? The first fish is for me. Then the second one is for me," said the wolf, jumping up and down with joy. "No, no, no. The second fish is also for me. And the third one, the fisherman, is mine."
गाइस, मनोज देव के बारे में मैंने इसलिए बोला क्योंकि मनोज देव एक बहुत बड़े यूट्यूबर ही नहीं है, बल्कि उन्होंने मेहनत करके अपने आप को खड़ा किया है, साबित किया है कि मेहनत में वाकई में ताकत होती है। टाइम उनके लिए शायद थोड़ा सा बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रगल वाले नहीं होंगे, क्योंकि उस टाइम यूट्यूब पे बहुत कम लोग काम करते थे, बट एक झोपड़े से एक महल में आना वो भी मेहनत का ही मिसाल देता है गाइस। और वो बहुत ही ऑनेस्ट इंसान है, उन्होंने बहुत मेहनत करके अपने लिए अपना एक लाइफ खड़ा किया है। ये जो सिचुएशन उनके साथ हुआ है किसी के साथ भी हो सकते हैं। यूट्यूब की नज़र में कोई भी टारगेट बन सकता है, कोई भी चैनल वाले लोग।
Just
और
like
ये
the
इंडिया में हो रही है।
in a cave.
मनोज देव ने जो ट्वीट किया है, अगर आप रीट्वीट करते हैं तो इस तरह की खतरा हर किसी के पास आने से बच सकती है।
Only it was gray and upside down and on the ceiling. So the fish started decorating the gray Christmas tree. The wolf felt
एनीबडी,
something
आप
sticking
लोगों
to
के
his
पास
tail
कोई
into the
भी
water.
सुझाव
So he
या
became
कोई भी
happy and
क्वेश्चन
sang
है
louder.
इस
We're
टॉपिक से लेकर जो
decorating
मैंने
the
आप
Christmas
लोगों
tree.
के
It's
सामने
time to
ये टॉपिक रखा है
celebrate.
मनोज देव
And
का।
the fish became happy too and started dancing around their decorated Christmas tail. It's time to take the catch out. The wolf decided to pull his tail out. He pulled once, nothing happened. He pulled again, but the tail wouldn't budge. That's when the wolf started spinning. Someone help me! My tail is all fished out. I can't pull it out. You know what really happened to the poor wolf's tail? While the wolf was singing, the water froze solid. Then his tail got stuck in the ice. The fox heard the wolf screaming and thought, did he really catch the fish? Now he will eat it all and leave nothing to me. So she forgot about the fisherman and ran to the wolf. Together they tried to pull the tail out of the water, but they couldn't do it. Okay, Fox, said the wolf. Go get the fisherman. You see, we're stuck. We need help. The fisherman grabbed the fox. The fox grabbed the wolf. The wolf grabbed his tail, but they couldn't pull it out. The fisherman called his wife called the dog called the cat called the mouse. All together they pulled and pulled with all their might and the tail came out of the water.
आई थिंक मुझे ऐसा लगता है यूट्यूब पे जो भी काम कर रहे हैं वो लोग अपने आप को काफ़ी ज़्यादा इंटेलिजेंट समझते हैं, मुझे ऐसा लगता है, क्योंकि जहाँ ज्ञान बट रही होती है वहाँ के लोगों का सब्सक्रिप्शन बहुत कम देखने को मिलता है, लाइक वॉच बहुत कम देखने को मिलता है। लेकिन जहाँ एंटरटेनिंग का मामला आता है वहाँ हर किसी को सिर्फ एंटरटेनिंग पसंद है, और यही तो चीज़ लोगों की बुद्धि भ्रष्ट करके रखी हुई है।
There was a farmer living in a village.
The tops and the roots.
And nearby was a forest with all sorts of creatures living in it, including the bear. One day the bear saw the farmer ride his cart over to the field, and when he got there, he jumped out and started digging something up with a shovel. The bear wanted to find out what was going on, so he approached the farmer and he asked him, "Hey farmer, what are you doing here?" "Well, Bear, I need to plow the field, plant the seeds, harvest the crops, and then eat what I reap." The bear became very happy that there would be something to eat. Then he asked the farmer a favor. "Hey, farmer, please be kind and give me some of the crops you harvest." The farmer scratched the back of his head and said, "Fine, when my crop grow, I will give you some." "Tell me what part of the plant you will take, Bear, the tops or the roots?" "Why would I want to eat a bunch of roots anyway? Ew, they're so dirty." So the bear told the farmer, "Of course, I will take the tops." "Fine," said the farmer. "We have a deal. I will give you the top, but you have to earn your meal. So here's the plow. Let's go and work the fields." That's the last thing the bear expected, that he'd be asked to plow the field like a horse. But the bear had no choice. He worked and huffed and puffed, with the farmer hurrying him from behind the plow. "Come on, my little pony, run faster!" Anyway, they plowed the field, planted the seeds, and then boom! They got lots and lots of turnips. The bear picked all the turnips and took them to the farmer's house, where he threw them into a heap. The poor bear was so tired he could barely stand. Then the farmer came over and started to divide the crop. He took all the turnips for himself and told the bear, "These are my roots." He gave the bear all the green tops that were not tasty at all and said, "All right, here are your tops. Bon appetit, Bear." The bear tasted them and said, "Ew, this tastes horrible. These tops are not edible, farmer. Why did you give them to me?" The farmer looked at the bear and pretended to be surprised. "But you asked for the tops, didn't you?" The bear looked back at the farmer, speechless. He just stood there with his jaw dropped, and you could hear his stomach making hungry noises. The poor bear, he was really hungry. So he walked up to the farmer and asked, "Could you spare me some turnips, please?" "Fine," said the farmer to the bear. "I'll give you some turnips. But first, you have to plant 10 rose bushes, store 3 big bags of beans, wash all the dirty dishes, clean the whole house, do all the laundry, and what else? Oh yeah, I will go to sleep and you will stand by my bed with this. Chase the flies away, and if they wake me up, I'll throw you out and you will not get any turnips." The poor bear sighed, put on an apron, and started doing all the chores around the house. And the farmer scolded him from time to time. "What's wrong with you, you clumsy bear? I can't sleep with you stomping your feet. Can't you be quiet?" Finally, the farmer went to sleep. He was probably dreaming of gobbling up all the turnips. And the bear was standing next to the bed, waving his paws to chase the flies away. But one fly that was very fat and very green landed right on the farmer's nose and started crawling up and down. The farmer wiggled his nose like he was about to sneeze, so the bear got really scared. "Oh no, he will wake up now! He will wake up!" So he raised the fly squatcher and hit the fly with all his might. The bear was trying to hit the fly, but he hit the farmer right on the nose. The farmer jumped up, holding his nose and screaming, "My nose!" That's when the bear completely lost it. He turned, ran outside, fell over the bags of turnips, grabbed the bags, and ran off with them into the forest. And the farmer was left holding no bags, just his own nose. Let me tell you why. It's because people who are selfish and greedy can see no further than the end of their nose. Be nice and share. I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Wow, I'm so beautiful. But not everyone is so lucky. Remember, beauty is only skin deep, and that means that the true beauty comes from within. The fairy tale I'm about to tell you is all about that. Once upon a time in a far, far away land,
Frog Princess.
there was a palace, and in that palace lived a king, and that king had 3 sons. The king and his 3 sons played all sorts of games together, like tag and hide and seek. Then his sons grew up, and well, they got bored, so they decided to get married. The king had to figure out how to find 3 brides for his 3 sons. Finally, he had a good idea. The king takes the princess out into the open field and hands each one of them a bow and arrow. "Shoot away," he tells them. The sons don't want to disobey their dad, so they shoot arrows in different directions. And then the king tells them, "Follow your arrow." Now this is important. Wherever your arrow landed is where you will find a buried treasure. I mean, not a buried treasure, a fleshing bride, of course. The 2 oldest brothers find 2 ordinary brides. But when the younger brother, whose name is Prince,
एनीबॉडी किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन करना है?
it keeps flying and flying.
मैं ऐसे लाइव क्यों आई हूँ?
The bunny
जो भी
gets
टॉपिक
scared
था
and
मैंने
starts
शेयर
running.
किया है आप लोगों से।
The chicken gets so
आप लोगों को कोई क्वेश्चन करना है?
that she lays an egg. But it's no ordinary egg. It's made of pure gold. The egg starts rolling and rolls over the mouse's tail. The mouse tries to run away. She swipes his tail and the egg falls and breaks. And guess what is in the egg? A frog! Prince Simon sees the frog and can't believe his eyes. Impossible! How can a boy marry a frog? Then the prince starts crying. But the frog tells him, "Don't cry, my Prince Charming. I will lay another golden egg for you." Oh no, the frog tells him, "Don't cry, my Prince Charming. If you marry me, I will be a very good wife for you." Prince Simon sighs, but he really has no choice. There's nothing he can do. So he brings the frog home. And she starts living at the palace, like a pet, like a turtle or a guinea pig. Prince Ivan takes good care of her. He catches flies for her. And the frog sings to him, "Crow, crow, 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 crow." Bing announces the 3 weddings. The eldest son will marry the daughter of a nobleman, the middle son will marry the daughter of a wealthy man, and the youngest son will marry a frog. The king also orders each of the 3 brides to prepare all sorts of delicious treats for the big wedding feast. Prince Ivan becomes really sad, and the frog asks him, "Why are you so sad, my darling?" "Well, how could I not be sad? You obviously don't know how to cook or bake. I have to make treats for myself." But the frog says to him, "Don't be sad, my darling. Tomorrow is another day. So please go to sleep and don't worry, I will figure out something." When Prince Ivan wakes up in the morning, he sees a 3-tiered cake on the table with a groom made of chocolate and a bride made of caramel. This makes Prince Ivan so happy that he's ready to kiss the frog, which tells him, "Oh, no, no, no. I'm not
अगर आप
kissing you
न्यू
the
व्यूअर
whole
हैं तो मेरे चैनल को
You better
सब्सक्राइब
take
कर
this
सकते
cake
हैं,
and hurry over to the palace."
और
Oh,
चैनल को
right over.
सब्सक्राइब करने से
Everyone's
अगर आपको
already
कुछ
gathered at the palace.
देखना है तो एक
When
बार
they
मेरे
see the
चैनल को
cake,
विजिट
they
करके
want
देख
to
सकते
give
हैं
it
मैं किस तरह
all
के
up.
कंटेंट बनाती हूँ।
And then all of a
आप एक
sudden,
बार देख
there's
लो,
a hug.
और मैं
There's a
लाइव
hug.
भी जुड़ती
Everyone
हूँ।
gets
लाइव
scared
में
and
जब
looks
भी
at Prince
जुड़ती
Ivan.
हूँ कोई बिग
Prince
मोटिवेशनल
Ivan also
स्पीक
gets
पे ही
scared. He
काम
looks out
करती
the
हूँ।
window and says,
सो अगर
"Oh,
आप
just like
न्यू
frog
व्यूअर हैं
riding
तो
over
प्लीज़
the
मेरे चैनल
pumpkin
को सब्सक्राइब
carriage."
कीजिए गाइस।
Then everyone calms down and starts to force all the brides and grooms to kiss. That's what they do at the wedding. They kiss and eat cake. So Prince Ivan kisses his frog, and she turns into such a beautiful princess that everyone just stands there with their jaws on the floor.
एनीबडी कोई क्वेश्चन है? मैं बार बार पूछ रही हूँ आप लोग से, प्लीज़ कोई क्वेश्चन है आप यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन कीजिए, मैं अभी के अभी आपको रिप्लाई करूँगी, लेकिन मेरी कंटेंट से रिलेटेड ही होनी चाहिए क्वेश्चन आपकी।
You know, my dear little toy friends, it's almost Christmas. Time to get presents and have lots of fun. But remember, firecrackers are not all they're cracked up to be. If you set them off the wrong way, that's a very bad thing can happen. Just listen to this tale.
The Snow Maiden.
There was an old man who lived with his old lady by the snowfield. Their kids moved to the city, and they took all of the grandchildren with them. They would visit their grandparents only in the summertime. And in the wintertime, the old man and the old lady missed their grandkids terribly. They would sit by the window all day long and sadly watch their neighbor's grandkids having fun next door. One day, the old man had an idea. He slapped his forehead and said, "Listen, my dear wife, I have an idea. Why don't we make ourselves a granddaughter out of the snow?" The old man's idea made the old lady very happy. They ran outside and started to make a granddaughter out of snow. They made a big snowball and got really tired. That's a good thing that the kids playing outside in the snow helped them out. They put arms and legs on the snowball, then placed the head on the top. The old man made the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. Finally, the old lady...
गाइस, इस तरह का लाइव विदाउट फेसिंग मैंने फर्स्ट टाइम ये फ्यूचर को ये अप्लाई किया है, और ये मुझे बहुत अच्छा भी लग रहा है। कभी कभी क्या होता था, टाइम नहीं होते थे, लेकिन मुझे लाइव करनी होती थी, और टाइम अधिकतर मुझे रात को मिलती थी, और मैं रात को लाइव करने से थोड़ी सी हिजिटेट होती हूँ, तो ये फीचर मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, तो रात को लाइव किया भी विदाउट फेसिंग। ये फीचर मुझे बहुत पसंद आया। और मेरा हमेशा जो भी होता है ना लाइव, ऑलवेज मोटिवेशनल फैक्ट पे ही होते हैं। मेरे कंटेंट के हिसाब से अगर आपको जो भी क्वेश्चन करनी है तो प्लीज़ क्वेश्चन कर सकते हैं आप यहाँ पर, लेकिन मैंने एक बार नहीं कई बार इस स्ट्रीमिंग के दौरान बोला आप लोगों को कि मनोज देव एक बहुत ही ऑनेस्ट और कड़ी मेहनत करने वाले इंसान हैं,
lady
और ऐसे ऐसे
rich
लोगों
man
के
who
साथ
loves
भी
that.
अन्याय होता
He
है।
was
सोचिए
snow
जब उनके
and
साथ ऐसा
after
हो
the
सकता है
rain
तो
came
किसी
the
के
summer.
साथ भी हो सकता है, और ये
Everyone
इंडिया में कुछ
sweating.
ज़्यादा ही हो रहे हैं,
But the
ठीक है।
snow maiden was still
तो
sitting by the window.
प्लीज़
The
अगर
old man
आप
and the old
उनकी
lady were
ट्वीट को
worried about her,
रीट्वीट
and
करते
they
हैं
wrote
तो
to
ये
their
सिर्फ
kid
उनका
that
नहीं,
day,
हर किसी
asking
की
them to
भी
visit with their
एक
grandkids.
सेफ्टी गार्ड
The
बन
snow maiden
सकती
was
है।
really
सो
sad over
प्लीज़
herself. The sun
मनोज
was
देव
shining brighter and
की ट्वीट
brighter
को
every day.
रीट्वीट करें,
So
यही
the old
रिक्वेस्ट
couple
करूँगी।
told the snow maiden to sit away from the window. And when it got really hot outside, they put her in the refrigerator during the day. Now, what kind of life is that for a poor kid? To sit in the refrigerator all day long and not be able to get out. Finally, they received a telegram from the city. Vacation! We're coming to visit you! The old man and the old lady jumped up and down as if they were not old and told the snow maiden, you only have to suffer a little while longer. Just sit in the refrigerator until we get back. We'll go pick up the grandchildren at the train station and we'll get some ice cream along the way. And then they left. Evening came. The snow maiden decided to get out of the refrigerator so she could look out the window and see if they were coming back. The neighbors' kids would hang outside, dancing around the fire, and then they started jumping over the fire. The snow maiden really wanted to join the kids and play and jump with them. She forgot all the warning and ran outside. Then she decided to surprise everyone, so she went back inside and got the fireworks. She ran over the fire and jumped over it, and then, well, guess what? Of course, the snow maiden turned into a little white cloud. The old man and the old lady came back from the train station with the grandkids and saw the sad little cloud hanging above their house. And then they heard the voice, children, don't play with fire. And please don't cry, grandparents. I'll be coming back to visit you every winter in the form of snow, so you will not feel lonely. So did you understand everything about the danger of playing with fire and fireworks? Well, then Merry Christmas. Why, you take a ball hat's face. Now the little one has no place to sit. You think just because you're bigger, you can be mean to him? I'd better tell you a fairy tale about a giant and a very small boy.
Tom Thumb.
Once upon a time, there was a family that had 3 sons. The oldest son was a strapping lad. The middle son was a stout sparrow. And the youngest son was very small, real teeny tiny. The older brothers were very mean to their younger brother. They made fun of him, called him Tom Thumb, and teased him. They would say, tra-la-la, tra-la-lee, you're no bigger than a flea. One day, the older brothers went off to gather firewood in the forest and didn't take their little brother with them. But Tom Thumb was very clever. He followed his brothers, dropping pebbles along the way so he wouldn't get lost. The older brothers had gathered the firewood, but they were lost and couldn't find their way home. They started crying like little girls. That's when Tom Thumb showed up and told them, stop crying like babies, follow me. And he led his brothers out of the woods. The next time they ran out of firewood, they went to the forest again. Tom Thumb was right behind them, and he brought a piece of bread with him. He scattered breadcrumbs along the way, but the birds gobbled them all up. Poor Tom Thumb. Now he wouldn't be able to find his way home either. He went up to his brothers, who were having a picnic in a meadow. Suddenly something rustled in the bushes. Still scared under the trees, but Tom Thumb just laughed. You are such chickens. It's just an ordinary cat. The cat came out of the bushes and said, just like human, I'm an extraordinary cat. I'm Puss in Boots. The cat looked so silly. He even had a hat with a feather. The older brothers, now climbed down the trees, and he'd first have to deal with that deal, and then he'd show them the way home. The older brothers burst into tears again. Puss in Boots felt sorry for them and said, come with me to the castle and spend the night there. So off they all went to pay this ogre a visit. The door was open, so they walked right into the great big hall and saw a scary, nasty ogre sitting at the table. When the ogre saw the three brothers and the cat, he said loudly, "Great, a tasty 4-course dinner, and served itself up to me." And he licked his lips. Tom Thumb was a very smart boy. He figured out right away that they were in the castle of a cannibal. Horrible! The cat winked at the boy slyly and said to the giant, "Mr. Giant Ogre, you're not a very good host, are you? I heard somewhere that ogres change shape to scare and amaze their guests. But I guess you don't know how to do that." The giant just laughed at him, then boom, he turned himself into a huge lion. The older brothers got scared and ran to hide under the table. But Puss in Boots didn't even twitch a whisker and told the ogre lion, "Well, that's not hard. Anyone can turn into a lion. But can you turn into something small, gray, and squeaky?" The ogre lion was stunned. Then bam! A small gray mouse ran across the table squeaking. Puss pounced at the mouse so fast that he blew out his boots, lost his hat, and scattered the dishes all over the table. But the cannibal mouse got away by squirming into a jug. Tom Thumb knew exactly what to do and quickly cranked up the jug with a cork. The cannibal was trapped inside the jug. Everyone cheered. Puss put his boots and his hat back on and took charge of things. He sent the older brothers to bed. It would have been silly for them to sit under the table all night. Puss took Tom Thumb out the balcony and pointed out the way home. And then he put him to bed too. In the morning, the brothers left for home with Tom Thumb leading the way. From then on, no one was mean to Tom Thumb ever again. So now don't you forget, no matter how big you are, you can't be unkind to the little ones. Any Tom Thumb, if he is smart and brave, has the ability to beat the meanest and scariest giants of them all. Why did you have to make such a big mess in here? I have to clean everything up again. I work all day long and get no rest. Like wee little Havrocheska. Oh, hang on. Do you know who she is? Well, let me tell you. Once upon a time, there was wee little Havrocheska.
Wee little Havrocheska.
She would wake up every morning at sunrise and start doing the household chores, the cleaning, the washing, the ironing, because her evil stepmother made her do it all. And stepmother's own daughters would just lay by the fire all day long and eat whatever their hearts desired. Wee little Havrocheska would sweep the floors, bring in the firewood for the stove, and then take the spotted cow out for the walk in the field so the spotted cow could graze on the grass. And wee little Havrocheska would have nothing to graze on at all. She'd never get any food, even though she worked as hard as she could. The evil stepmother made wee little Havrocheska sort 3 bags of wool, spin it, and weave it into cloth. The spotted cow took pity on wee little Havrocheska, so she chewed on the grass quickly and said, "Listen, all you have to do is climb into one of my ears and come out of the other, and boom, your work will be done for you." And guess what? It all happened, just like the spotted cow said it would. Oh, how angry the evil stepmother was. The next day, she came up with an even more difficult task. "Take this little piece of cloth right here and make me a fancy dress out of it and have it ready for tonight. And make new dresses for my daughters too." Wee little Havrocheska looked at the tiny piece of cloth and grew really sad. The evil stepmother kept making it worse. "Actually, can you make 7 dresses out of it?" "I will if I have to," said wee little Havrocheska. Then the evil stepmother sent her 2 daughters to spy on wee little Havrocheska to find out who was helping her. The day was hot, so the daughters basked in the sun, lying on the grass. Then they shut their eyes and dozed off, and wee little Havrocheska sang them a lullaby. But then another disaster happened. The evil stepmother couldn't wait
Everyone,
until the
good
evening
night.
and went to spy on wee little Havrocheska herself. And of course, she found out all about the spotted cow helping wee little Havrocheska. Oh, how angry the evil stepmother was. She said, "Take this spotted cow out into the woods at once and feed her to the wolves." Wee little Havrocheska started